On today's show, we discuss the 1980 Italian horror film Nightmare City with special guest Geof from the Gcap Recap. It's time to get radical.
Ensure all residences are secure with all doors and windows firmly locked and barricaded.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Not people. Brains.
They're us. We're them, they're us.
Oh my god. You are dead.
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
The pain of being dead.
Were you bitten? Were you bitten? Did any of the blood get in your mouth?
They have overrun us, you know. We're in the minority now. Something like 400,000 to 1 by my calculation.
My father always say, when the earth spit out the dead, they will come back to suck the blood from the living.
When there is no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
There's another one for the fire.
Welcome back, Radical Ones, to the Summer of the Dead. As always, I am your host, Radical Ryan Hunter, and this week I am joined by my good friend, Geof, who I could not be more excited to have on the show. Finally! Welcome, Geof.
Hey, thanks, Ryan. Thanks for having me on. I'm stoked about the Summer of the Dead. This is great.
Geof, he's in a league of his own. He is on the Gcap channel, which was one of my favorite channels. I've done a lot with Geof over the last, year?
Almost a year. Yeah, pretty soon. Coming up.
Aww.
Last summer. You were doing the Friday the 13th summer camp thing.
And now we've gone dead again.
Now we go on zombie camp.
Zombie. With my own personal love of the zombie genre, I just forced on everybody, the listeners.
Oh no, everybody loves zombies. When you said you were doing this, I was happy. It looked like all the ones that I wanted to do were all claimed already, but
yeah, you are a huge fan of the Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah, but hey, listen, this is, I think the movie we're going to talk about today, I always tell people, I think Return of the Living Dead borrowed pretty heavily from.
This is perfect. This is perfect, because there was a few things that I wanted to ask you, because Geof is a huge Return fan, and he knows, you know a lot about Return.
Yes.
And Return 2, the movies, the franchise.
2, 3, those Abominations 4 and 5, which we won't speak of.
The sci-fi one. What was it? Necromancer and Disco Party of the Dead.
Grave. One
Grave
was
to the Grave.
Grave to the Grave, and the other one was like
Necrocon?
Freaking.
No, it can't be Necrocon.
I'm gonna watch that again.
It was like a zombie robot, if I remember.
It was, and it was on the college campus. It was very annoying. They're all very annoying.
They tried to throw Tarman in one of them. Well,
Rave to the Grave. A Tarman. Yeah, he was trying to hitch a ride to the rave.
Probably the best moment of the whole thing.
Yep.
Just when you thought the dead were buried, they're back in City of the Walking Dead. The final chapter of the invasion of the zombies.
To the city limits, then quite definitely in a northeastern direction.
When the living were dead in the suburbs, the zombies came to the city.
This individual and others like him have been subjected to strong doses of atomic radiation, which increase their physical capacities beyond the norm.
City of the Walking Dead.
Please have bases 112 and 401 to stand by with helicopters, and if necessary, squadrons of fighter bombers.
You cannot kill someone who is already dead. They had their night, and now It's their day. They are everywhere. There's no escape. Don't miss the most horrifying movie of all time, City of the Walking Dead, from 21st Distribution. Rated R.
When I thought about doing this movie, you were the first person that I thought of. And I mean that in the best possible way, because I knew not only would Geof know this movie, but he probably has a lot of great things to say. This is Nightmare City, the Italian 1980 science fiction horror film. This has quite a history with horror fans. So Geof, why don't you talk about maybe the first time, if you remember, what you thought of when you saw this movie?
Oh, this was it was decades ago. And
I feel you.
I had rented it from the video store. I didn't know anything about it. I just, I love Italian horror zombie movies. I've seen them all. And that's my paisans, so I had to watch this one, and it was Nightmare City, and didn't know what to expect. And I'd already seen Return of the Living Dead. And when I watched this movie, I thought to myself, damn, I do love Return of the Living Dead. And obviously there's a lot of differences between the movies, but there's a lot of similarities as well. So yeah, it was the first time, I guess many people probably saw a running zombie, zombie, a chemical zombie,
a ninja zombie, unstoppable zombie.
Pretty much unstoppable zombie. This movie is by no means a great movie, but I think it is fun to watch. I mean, it's not, this isn't where I'd be like, oh, Nightmare City is, up there with like Dawn of the Dead or something like that. I mean,
they wanted to, I think. There's a few shots that I'm like, all right, I see you, Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, I want to say a lot of those directors back then, like Bruno Mattei and our paisan here, Umberto Lenzi.
Ooh, you said that so beautifully. If I would have had to said that, I would have been like, Umberto Lenzini. Welcome. Ciao.
Umberto. And we can do that because we're both Italian.
I was going to say, yes. Yeah. Disclaimer.
Yeah, no, so it's, you could tell they all saw Romero's Dawn of the Dead, and they all just wanted to make that movie again, over and over again.
Famously, of course, you mentioned Zombie 2, or Zombie, was labeled as a Dawn of the Dead sequel, because Dawn of the Dead, for anyone who doesn't know, in Italy was called Zombie, with an I, no E.
Yep, I.
Geof, I call him the Shark King, so he's a shark fanatic. Jaws, he loves sharks. There's a zombie shark versus scene. So, one day, if we ever do Zombie on the show, I would love to have you back for that.
Oh, please, sign me up.
But they all kind of went with that Dawn of the Dead ripoff. As I texted Geof last night, I feel like there's 3 things that make an Italian zombie movie. Maybe 4. Blood.
Yep.
Nudity, of course, for no reason. Just, if there's a blouse that can become undone, if there's a skirt that could come up, it will. There's always this very, what would you call it, supernatural, either one of the characters always has a dream. There's always someone who is like, I dreamed of my leg was being ripped off. And always, you must die by the end. There is no happiness in an Italian zombie movie.
Not a one. Not a one. Not a one. We're a very happy people, us Italians, but for some reason, our zombie movies, they have to end miserably.
Never happiness. Maybe you think it might be happy, but no. You get the movie to start over again in this case.
You bring up a good thing about Dawn of the Dead, so that was Zombie, right, overseas, and then Fulci's like, oh man, I'm just going to make my own sequel to this movie. That would be like if I all of a sudden said, hey, you know what, I'm going to make an official Evil Dead 4.
I would love it, but yes.
And just call it something else, and don't ask anybody for permission, and just, release it over in another country, and be like, yeah, this is Evil Dead 4. With Evil Dead 4 with an I.
now here's part 4. But of course, add the nudity and the death. No comedy whatsoever.
Yeah, you're right, man. Somebody always loses their shirt for absolutely no reason at all, or a bra comes off for no reason. Just like, whoops. Like,
my favorite in this one is the nurse. That just she has the perfect snaps on her uniform to just take her bosom out right on cue. I'm sure it was a beautiful sight for many. But
yeah. I mean, that's not even like a real nurse's outfit. That's like those ones you buy in like the Halloween store, like the slutty nurse outfit, you know? It's like
there's a few outfit things in this movie. I mean, this is jumping ahead, but there's a whole disco scene. But the cameramen, Geof, did you notice they're wearing white lab coats?
Yeah, what was that all about?
They were like, this might be a sci-fi movie. We might be doing scientist scenes next. Filming.
It's tight budget, Ryan. They're trying to make it work. Because you know cameramen wear white lab coats all the time.
All the time. It keeps it clean. Especially while you're filming Italian aerobic disco scenes.
Yeah, this movie is very much like, I would say this again, when I saw Return of the Living Dead first, and I still love that. It's obviously a superior movie, please. I'm teasing here. But I just thought when I saw Nightmare City, that came out 5 years earlier, and you have the zombies that are caused by chemicals.
Right.
So, you know, Night of the Living Dead was what, the fallen satellite or something that caused all that radiation.
Could it be from Venus? Could it be voodoo?
Yeah.
With no more room in hell. But yeah, originally it was like a Venus satellite passing by.
Yeah, and that caused that, where this is like, you know, this was actually caused by chemicals, much like the trioxin. These zombies are fast zombies, much like our St. Louis zombies in Return. You also have the fact that they're intelligent zombies.
Yes.
They're organized. They set traps.
Very creepy.
They wear disguises of the military, much like the one did the cop wore, the one that wore the cop outfit in Return. I mean, there's a lot of coincidences here, my friend Ryan. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Of course. But done much better, unfortunately. For this movie. This movie does have its love, though. But I can say that if I was running to zombie movies, and again, there's a debate, as Geof said, these are not traditional zombies. Matter of fact, they look like potato-headed, Toxic Avenger-esque.
Yeah, they do. They look like Toxies.
Like a burnt Toxie.
Yeah, like I left them in the air fryer too long, Toxie. Comes out and he's all, like almost like the poop emoji in a way, like the little poop emoji with the eyes. You know,
but this one never smiles, though. They don't ever smile, these zombies.
These zombies do not smile. Some of them are they just have like some red stuff splashed on their face, you know, like these little cuts. But yeah, some of these zombies, they look like potato head man, poop emojis. So they don't eat brains, so that there's a difference there. They suck the blood from like the neck or sometimes the boob, which goes back to your
disturbing. That actually always gets me.
Yeah,
a nurse literally gets, for anyone who hasn't seen this movie, and actually it's free on YouTube and they're pretty good qualities. Of course, if you could always seek out the original, please, of course, if you can get a copy, if you're a horror fan, a zombie fan, Italian horror fan.
Yeah.
But it is available on YouTube for free. But if you do watch this, there is a scene where this nurse, she's unrobed, as you would say, and the zombie makes a bottle out of her breast, I would say. He cuts off her nipple.
Yeah, he cuts off her nipple, and he goes to town. And once again, it goes back to that Italian thing. It's like the zombies are only interested in like eating, like they don't have sex or anything. But for some reason, they love to make the women's naked.
They just need it. They need it to be, it's part of the thing.
Never the men's, it's the women's, Ryan, that get naked.
You're right, because there was some aerobic dancers too. They could have pulled off their leotard if they wanted to.
Of course.
With that theme, Geof, that plays throughout the whole thing, which I kind of get into by the end. You're like,
that song, I'm looking for that on Spotify. I think that's amazing. Keep that and play that all the time on loop. Finally, the one thing that I think is awesome about these zombies, some people think this is stupid, but like whatever. There's enough zombie movies to where, you know, I'm gonna add a little bit of add a different side on my plate, my usual plate of meat and potatoes. Give myself a different vegetable here, so to speak, right? These mofos will use weapons. They will use guns and shoot you in the face. zombies that shoot back at you that have knives. They can fly planes. They can land planes, Ryan. These are scarier than the Return of the Living Dead zombies.
You're right, especially when they got kind of friendly in part 2. I like the more comical return. You kind of feel good as you're being eaten by them.
Yeah, they like to tell jokes to make you feel good about what they're doing. And
That's
stuff.
right.
Yeah.
Jeff's right. There's one scene, I wrote this down. There's one zombie in the studio scene. He has a big stick. And he just beats 2 people down with this stick. He don't need nothing. It could use anything. Like my brother David would say, anything is a weapon. Even a giant stick.
Yeah, right. Yep. They'll use anything at all to just take you out. So it's not, you don't have to worry about them grabbing you or slashing you like in Demons or anything like that. Like,
no.
They get organized. They will set traps for you. You know, they'll shake a bush. You go over to the bush.
Yeah, that was something else too.
I mean, what an idiot.
But I ain't I ain't that curious, Jeff.
No. I see a bush shake. I'm leaving those assholes for taking too long to get ready. I'm like, yo, bye. There's freaking zombies landing planes and shooting at me. I'm out of here, dude. Get me out of here.
Would you say it's one of the most famous parts of this movie? Like Jeff said, the whole thing starts when a reporter is supposed to go interview a famous doctor or scientist on this plane. So this plane lands. It's flown by zombies, like Jeff is saying, they're intelligent. They land though, but they wait long enough for the scientist to come out very slowly, look around, and then they decide to run out. But it's like a clown car. There's never ending abundance of zombies come out of this airplane.
Yeah, there's like 2 or 3 different doors that open on the plane too, and they just come like piling out. And I'm like, how many people are on this plane?
They must have been really crowded in that plane.
There were no airline employee shortages back in the 80s, Ryan. Over in Italia, there's no shortages.
Every weapon known to man, they brought off this axes, knives, daggers.
How did all that stuff get through security? How did that get on the plane?
They must have just loaded up and drove off. But it makes me laugh every time, Jeff, because the lead, he says, oh my god, I don't believe it. But if you look at his face, I think he does, because he has no emotion. No emotion at all in his face.
Thank you.
I don't believe it. My god.
Thank you for bringing that up, because, yeah, he has about as... Like you said, he's a journalist, right? And a reporter. He has about as much charisma as my thumbnail, right? And I think more people would want to watch my thumbnail than listen to him.
I know it's very talented.
Yes. Hey. He is so freaking boring. I mean, and we're stuck with this guy, man, for a long time.
How does he manage to survive, though?
Because even the zombies are so bored, they don't want to interact with him. They're like, oh, this guy and stuff. Like, we'll come back for him later. Let me go take a tip bottle off a nurse real fast. So I'll come back for this guy. He ain't going anywhere.
He pulled a Luke Skywalker Last Jedi right to the teat. Oh my god. So basically, we follow this character, and his name is Dean Miller. He has a wife who is a surgeon or a doctor, Dr. Anna Miller. She ends up leaving and going to work, even though she said she was sick, by their maid, I think, tells them. So I think they're rich enough to have a maid, or somebody tells him.
Yeah, the maid tells her to go to work. So I'm like, what's that maid doing? Like, you gotta get out of the house. I got my boo coming over for some quiet love time.
You promise I don't get paid regularly. This is my bonus.
No, you should really leave the house. No, really, you should get out of here so I can clean. Yeah, right.
Go to work.
Hit that liquor cabinet is what she's gonna do.
Oh.
Dean Miller's stash, his scotch, his 40-year-old scotch.
That's where it all began. That's where it went downhill for him. This COVID plane lands, and they release the zombies. Now, they take over in record time, Jeff, because their numbers are so huge. So this is where people are like, okay, they're not zombies in the sense, because like Jeff said, they drink blood, but this is even just interaction kind of spreads the virus. If you're in the vicinity of these creatures, I believe one of the scientists said.
Yeah, that if you're in something like, they said a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they did a lot of exposition,
a lot of dialogue from people like that, and that was another thing in Italy. Like, they loved with the zombie movies, everything was always about newscasts, and just everything was like, TV was like super exciting, like that was the main focus, and it goes right to Dawn of the Dead again. Like,
yeah, exactly. That's what you need: news and people going crazy inside of a studio.
Yeah. The government, like the army's talking about the name of like this chemical, and there's just a lot to follow. I just want to see the zombies run around shooting people with guns. I don't care much for the interaction.
I don't care about your family or friends.
Yeah, there's and the only good thing about these characters are boring, right? That's a big draw.
Boring.
The only thing that's interesting about them is they make the most questionable decisions, Ryan, during an apocalypse. I mean, may I add some examples?
Please.
So you have the one guy who is a bigwig in the military, calls his daughter and says, yo, you need to get, like, there's something bad happening. The father has someone call his daughter.
Yeah, he's too busy making love to the artist in his army uniform.
Yes.
On his day off.
And he says, yo, you got to get out of the house immediately, right? Come see me immediately. Stop what you're doing. Don't pack a bag. Come see me immediately because, like, there's something really bad happening. Well, can you tell me what it is? He's like, I can't say that. You got to get out of the house. Let me speak to my father. All right, I just told you that he wants you to leave and come down here, right? I'm going to go call my father right now.
I don't trust you.
And meanwhile, like, this guy's like, this allows the zombie to pull the phone cord. Right, so now she's stuck. So there's the first lifeboat that goes by where she could have just escaped, right?
Yep.
Good morning, madam. Your father wishes you to join him immediately at Defense Headquarters.
He does? At headquarters? Why?
I have no idea. He tried to phone you, but there wasn't any answer. He says that you're not to waste any time. I have a car outside.
Why? Did something serious happen?
Your father will explain everything to you.
Maybe some kind of war broke out.
Okay. You can wait for us in the car.
Headquarters 79.
Hello? May I talk to General Murchison? It's his daughter speaking.
Yes, ma'am. Would you hold the line, please? I'll try to locate him.
Then what happens next? Then you have the military guy comes over and says, "Hey, your father wanted me to come get you. You got to go now. Let's go. You missed the phone call. Let's go." All right. I mean, we'll see. And then the man she's with's not helping. They're asking 50 freaking questions right now. Right?
They taking up valuable screen time.
They're going on for 10 minutes asking questions. Well, when should we? I mean, should we go now? Like, what should I do? Should I pack a bag? Should I make sure? I mean, they're asking 50 questions. Once again, he's like, "We're supposed to leave right away. Like, you missed the phone call, right?" So then that poor bastard gets set up in a trap while these two inside, decide like, "Oh, I don't know. Should I bring a winter jacket? I might get a little, rain later." So he dies because of the trap that's set outside. So there's a second lifeboat. These two assholes, right?
Poor man.
Finally, they get what they deserve the third time because instead of going to meet their father, they go to meet their parents somewhere, his parents or something in the field.
I couldn't figure out what that.
I was like, "Wait, who are these people?" Right?
But they drove.
Yeah, and then they get what they deserve. It's the guy gets out and they're both zombies and he shoots them in the face and then the woman goes and stabs her and I was like, they had 3 strikes and they blew them all.
The woman saw her husband getting harpooned and she didn't move.
Yeah, she stood there asking questions probably like, "Why did you just shoot him? Where did you get that gun at? Did you buy the ammo in the same place?"
I need to
Ryan, I've never seen someone get so many chances of everyone in the movie. They could have survived.
Yeah, over what happens.
Seriously, they ask so many questions and we're just so I mean, listen, if my dad is a bigwig in the military and he calls me up and he's like, "Get out of the house immediately."
Oh, it's over.
Shit's about to go down. I'm out. I grab my phone, my wallet, I'm out. If my dad's calling me, telling me that, this is bad news. Not this one. Well, what exactly do you mean by bad news, Dad? Like, what exactly is happening? Like,
what qualifies as bad news? Tell me.
Yeah.
Didn't you watch the discos earlier?
The disco.
I mean, while we're on it, even our lead and his wife, they stopped for a little while in a rest area.
This was the next one I was going to tackle.
Okay, please go ahead. No, lead us in. I want to hear this. I want to hear this take.
Our what's it called? Our oozing with charisma lead, Dean, and his wife escape from the hospital. They drive to this gas station. Yeah, Dr. Hannah. Drive to this gas station for gas, right? He goes and checks, make sure that there's no zombies and everything's safe. Okay, let's go fill the gas. What would you and I do? We would get gas and get the hell out of here because we know that there's zombies. They're shooting people and running.
But no.
And stuff, right? No, they decide to sit down and make coffee and discuss like philosophy.
Like Coca-Cola or nuclear energy. We'd be a whole lot healthier without all that stuff.
This is good. Do you think we should give up the advantages that we've gained?
Maybe it would be better. However, it is not the fault of science and technology, but of man, nature's own human element. We haven't reached the age of the robot yet. This mess could have been avoided.
Yes, but for how long?
I don't know. But one thing is clear. We're partly to blame ourselves. Just think of the life that we have led up until today. Shut up in those ridiculous cities. In a steel and concrete jungle, like machines.
All this had to happen to realize the truth.
Let's hope it isn't too late.
Until their cars bombarded and blown up by zombies because these assholes sat there for an hour and decided to talk about politics.
That was so I couldn't believe when they
God.
sat down. It was almost like in the Crazies remake where they end up in a diner too, but at least I don't remember them sitting down. This was insanity.
They were doing it to hide in the Crazies.
That's right. That's right.
These two were like, we got time. Let's talk about how like machines, like we're like machines, and the evolution and all kinds of stuff, like the cycle of life. And I was like, you guys realize you're being chased by zombies that are organized and have weapons. There was zero sense of urgency for anyone in this movie, Ryan.
But what was this, Jeff? They said before going in, because at this point they just left the hospital, but they say the Red Cross from the ambulance protected them, right?
They weren't even curious.
We have a Red Cross protecting us.
What is it, Dean?
We're running out of gas.
But that didn't work out either because, like Jim said, they attack the car and it explodes.
Yep.
The ambulance. I guess not. And then later on at the church, she says something similar. She calls them vampires. And I'm like, Dr. Anna, where did you come up with the vampires thing? Okay, they drink blood, I guess?
Yeah, right.
Let's go in. Maybe we'll find some help. Remember the medieval legend? If they're really vampires, they can't enter the house of God.
I guess she saw them suck in the neck too and thought like maybe these aren't zombies, maybe these are like poop vampires, poop face vampires.
the emoji vampires. Just to get back to the hospital, I gotta say there's a few scenes in this that I feel like stand out. One is the old lady in the glass. The old lady zombie that almost looks like an Italian grandmother that might have, been in her twilight years and she just got lost behind a glass.
Yeah.
Wall.
They brought her into she's the one they like wheeled into the hospital because of something, and then she like shows up to attack Anna, and she's like, but she's wearing glasses now. She wasn't wearing glasses when they brought her in. That's what I mean about these zombies. These zombies are even like, man, my look at these. Look at the strength on these things. 0.125. I'm gonna wear these. Oh, look at that.
A whole new world.
I'm gonna munch on some tit bottle now. Hell yeah. Let's get it on.
The tit bottle now. So, the other thing is the doctor who throws the scalpel always gets me. Because at least he tries to do something, right?
I will say this. The doctors I felt bad for because all of this stuff is going down and they're still holding it together trying to save this person's life that they're operating on.
Yes.
When the zombies bust in, do they scream or freak out? No. The one guy charges one of them and tries to take him out and he dies. The doctor with the scalpel, yeah, like a lawn dart right in his. I mean, our boys went down swinging. Ryan,
he was a skilled surgeon. They must have mentioned how good his hands were in the papers because that's amazing, though.
Yeah,
claps.
Everyone else panicked and even the military when they came out of the plane and they have guns. They're like
even when they shot them, they kind of just were like,
yeah, they shot him and then they're like,
die. Oh, okay, I'm gonna die.
Not our doctors. Our doctors are like, I'm gonna make you sing for your supper, bitches.
And actually, how creepy is it now thinking that person they were working on was just being eaten alive and they had no idea because he was up inside whatever person they were having surgery in.
Yeah, like the one zombie walked over and was like, did you see? He got all excited, his eyes got big. He was like, oh, like it was open, like a buffet for him. Like somebody made you some dinner and served it to you on a plate. Like, here you go. Like, ah.
They love the bottles of blood, the glass bottles of blood from this 80s Italian hospital.
Oh, yeah, that's right. By the IV, there was the bottle of blood or whatever. And that one, he got excited too. His eyes got like silver dollars. Like, I was laughing. I'm like, wait, this is supposed to be funny, right? Because they were like, oh, like even the noises.
Return
like,
of the Living Dead. There you go. They love to wipe their mouths and look up at the victim because they think that's what's creepy. They must have saw that in the first Night of Living Dead.
Yeah.
And they all do that. They all do that. They're like, that means scary in Italian horror movies.
Yeah, like,
the wipe. Because the nurses freeze in fear.
Yep.
The 18th century nurses, I'm sorry. They look like even older than this generation, the outfits they were in. Like you said, like a costume.
Yeah, the nurses' outfits were weird.
They look like nuns.
Yeah, like they had like the whole flying nun gimmick too.
The flying, exactly.
That whole habit or whatever with that big old hat. Do you remember when they were escaping the hospital after they finally they're just like ZFG on this hospital, let's all leave. Everybody's running out and then the one like nurse nun thingy, she runs in the middle of like a pond and slows herself in the fountain or whatever, slows herself down to the zombie just jumps. I mean, the zombie was like, wow, what a dummy.
Unless she thought she was going to outsmart them. They can't swim possibly. Nope.
They can't swim in 1.5 feet of water. Wait, what? It's like a giant puddle. That zombie caught up to her and tackled her like a football player.
And they're jumping, yeah. I mean, I don't know why she didn't think, but, you know, it was a long shift at the hospital.
They were going through some stuff. But that's what I mean. It's just a lot of questionable decisions made by all of the characters. All of them, except the doctors. The doctors, they were like, yo, we got nowhere to go, and I'm not just going to scream. I'm gonna try to take you out.
What about also, because I know you might have something to say about this elevator scene with the old woman. Just, get me out of here. And it's always that dubbed voice that works perfectly with these Italian movies, because the actress is doing one thing, but the voice is saying something completely else.
There you are. Oh my God, I can't breathe. I think I'm going to faint.
Why doesn't somebody do something?
The woman looks like she's dying. I can't describe it, but the actress is just like, get me out of here. I can't breathe. Oh, this hospital must have a generator.
Yeah, right. Manually lower us, please.
Manually. And then as soon as they say that, they're screaming, put us down manually. As soon as the zombie does it, oh my God, we're gonna die.
Get us out of here!
My heart feels like it's bursting. My God, why don't they hear us? Somebody help us! Please, oh, somebody!
Let's not panic. If we keep calm, then we can all breathe a lot easier. The shaft has a lot of air. Why doesn't somebody do something? These things have manual controls on them. Why don't they wind us down? You're right. Hey, wind it down! It's all right. Be calm.
We're falling! We're falling!
Yeah.
Okay.
They should have just kept their mouth shut and just was quiet. They weren't able to be like reached, right? That was the problem with like the Demons 2 movie too. I was like, guys, shut up and just stay in the freaking elevator. Just be quiet.
Thank you. Yes.
Like they can't even get to you because the doors are jammed. Like you're safer than anybody.
Unless they just want to get away from that woman.
That woman was kind of annoying. I think I would rather try to, go toe-to-toe with one of the Nightmare City zombies, the NCZs. I would have to deal with that woman again. Oh, boy.
I need air. Oh, my God.
I was like, you need air. You're about to be made a tip bottle, too. You should shut the hell up. They're going to go for you first. They're going to rip your clothes off first before they do anything.
Oh, yeah. It's terrible. So, there's a part where our leads, the slap kiss, he slaps the wife.
Yes, backhands her.
Boom, like they hit a rock.
Yeah.
They kiss, but again, it's done so like awkwardly.
Why do we face it? There's no place for us to go. They're all around us, butchering everyone. Sooner or later, we too will be killed. Dino, I don't want us to die. I don't want us to die, but there's nothing we can do. They're all around us, everywhere! They're all around us!
Yeah, she gives him some sass, so he backhands her, and then he grabs her and they kiss, but it's like a weird kiss. Has to be seen to be believed.
Well, should I also mention our lovely Italian zombies are well dressed? I mean, sweaters, suits, button-down shirts. There is not one zombie that does not look well put together.
No.
And couldn't go to brunch maybe right after this.
I've never seen such an assortment of well-dressed ghouls in my entire life.
That really shows you the Italian pride.
Yeah.
Our zombies will even be... No, they're not rotten. No, sir.
That's another thing. Yeah, they were so well dressed. You're right. I didn't think of that when I think of that. Yeah, they have sweater vests and sweaters. Wearing ties and all of them button-down shirts.
Beautiful. I can't tell you. Button-downs and then sometimes sweaters on top.
Yep.
They were studious zombies.
Yeah, and these aren't zombies that have come out of the ground that were buried in formal wear. These are just like...
Which I love.
Homeboys like hanging out in the streets wearing suits. Like they went to like the Bank of America building or something and infected all these people. Like a corporate office.
Oh, that's what happened. That was what the flight was coming back from. A corporate retreat somewhere.
Also, real fast about the plane. I meant to bring this up earlier. What the hell plane is that? That looked like one of those like army planes or whatever that has like the tanks in it and all that. Like that was supposed to be a passenger plane. That was a scary plane.
Operation Dumbo Drop. It was like a big
Operation Dumbo Drop. That's a good one.
God, I haven't thought of that in movie in years either. My God.
Dude, I totally forgot about that movie. Operation Dumbo Drop.
What about the priest with the candle? That's another fake out scene like you were mentioning earlier. They're smart enough, but it made me think that this guy was just sitting there for hours in that same position waiting for somebody.
Dude, you're right. Yeah, like he's a priest and he's like, I'm just going to sit here and hang out for days just hoping that somebody comes in so I can viciously attack them with a candle. I didn't know a candle was like a baseball bat. Like that was interesting choice.
Thank the Lord, Father. We were really hoping...
It didn't break, not even the wick, a crack in the wick.
No.
It was like a loaf of bread.
Because even that candle didn't want to like bow down to like the oozing charisma of one Dean Miller.
He was a blonde among a sea of brunettes, too.
Goodness.
Golden locks. Golden Italian locks.
Oh my God. He was so horrible. But yeah, the pre-scene, that was great too. We had a little, I mean, I saw it coming a mile away, even back then or whatever. But
of course.
Yeah. You know, all of a sudden he turns around and he's got like the herpy poop on the other side of his face. Yeah, he's like Two-Face, like from Batman.
It was exactly a Two-Face, so it's okay in this zombie because, you know, it's there for the scare, but...
The priest goes up, grabs that freaking, and he just whacks him with this giant candle, church candle. That thing was awesome.
It was like a sword the way he was wielding it.
Yeah, I mean, these zombies, seriously, if there's one well thing done about the movies was making these zombies like, you know... I don't know, like warriors or something. It's crazy. They're not just slow. Like you ain't getting away from these guys.
This is a zombie apocalypse I would not survive, Jeff.
Yeah. I was starting to think at one point the people that were in the elevator, because the zombies are so organized and intelligent, I'm like, one of them's going to find how to get to the escape thing and go down because they're that smart. I mean, I won't put it past them. They learned how to lower it, like...
And just by hearing them say that, they can hear well, extremely well, move faster, and stay well-dressed throughout the entire thing. Don't even get blood on their uniforms or their outfits.
No. And if we go back, Ryan, let's just say this, like, I don't know, I can't stress this enough. They landed a plane, like, perfectly. Like, it didn't crash. It goes and shows you the pilots later, and the pilots have been murdered.
Yeah.
So, like, these zombies, that would be like you and I going and just being like, yo, we're going to land this plane. Like, we're on American Airlines, we're flying to California. We're going to land this thing. We don't need you guys. And just landing it. Like, oh, we got it. We're good. These zombies.
Don't you all have extensive piloting knowledge in your zombie courses?
Right, yeah. People in suits, no less.
How is that explained? It's not, right?
No, it's not. Oh, Ryan, how about, hey, do you remember the last time you went to a giant amusement park and it just kind of popped up on you? Like you didn't see anything, like a roller coaster like 4 miles away or...
So this is great. Like, I'm all for an amusement park ambiance, right? In a scary movie.
Yes.
But, like Jeff said, this just comes out of nowhere. But,
out of nowhere.
Okay, all right.
Out of nowhere. All of a sudden, they're like, oh, look. And they, like, turn around, and there's this giant Ferris wheel that looks like one of those ones that You know, that are like in Europe, in Vegas, where you can, you know, look out and you can see like the whole city. I mean, it's not just like a normal like county fair Ferris wheel. It's gigantic.
No, this should be seen. This should have been like a destination.
Yeah, there's a roller coaster too, Ryan. A giant roller coaster.
Yes, which our heroes do climb up at one point.
Yeah, I mean, to escape, they climb up the roller coaster. I just don't know where this came out of nowhere.
And they were right in that field, right? Because this is the scene right before this is that helicopter, again, a Dawn of the Dead scene where you see all these zombies just running randomly back and forth like a herd of elephants or like animals or Jurassic Park.
Yep, totally out of Dawn of the Dead. That's a good call, dude. That's right. I was thinking too the whole time they were never showing the helicopter pilot.
Yeah.
face, and I thought at one point he was just going to be like, and like which was a miss. Because that would have been great, because if you can land a plane, I'm sure they could fly a helicopter for like an hour, right? Like
get the hell out of here. I got this.
Yeah.
I am a zombie.
They're like, a helicopter? Pfft, please. I just landed a plane, dude, with like 400 people.
It's actually, I see it in the synopsis, it's called a Lockheed C-130 Hercules military plane.
Wow, it's a big name. Big name for a big plane.
How did they get this? First off, how did they not crash from the amounts of weight in this?
I'm gonna say how did they not crash? They didn't crash because they're just very well organized. They landed the freaking plane.
That's true. That's true. By tomorrow they'll be making TV shows of their own. Aerobics.
They set traps, right?
Yes.
Oh, I gotta talk to you about we gotta cover the artist too, because that's a whole thing.
Oh yeah, and her friend that comes over and
yeah, should we
Please.
just talk? Should we like? I think I finished my thought or whatever about I mean, they landed the plane. They didn't crash the plane because, I mean, they can just land a plane.
Yeah. Why if you could land it, why crash it, right?
Yeah. They set traps. They know how to lower elevators. They know what's up. Priests know that they can hang out in the church and know somebody's going to come in there.
Someone's going to come for confession and candle is a weapon.
Get candle whacked.
I mean, this scene alone is, I mean, my God, bam!
Dude, he hits him, he like knocks the fuck out of him too when he hits him with that candle. It's awesome.
It almost reminds me of 28 Days Later, that church scene with the priest that Jim, I think his name is, comes and Father.
Yeah, that's right.
But he doesn't have a candle. He just has the rage virus.
Yeah, he just has the rage virus. He just looks up like, yeah, look at that like face or whatever, and like goes and charges him. Yep. So
the artist woman.
The artist woman. Her whole arc went like nowhere.
This is Sheila. I think this is Sheila Holmes.
Sheila, yeah, Sheila's her name. Because I remember the girl, her friend's like, Sheila.
Let me in.
So she's the one. Here's another questionable choice. Okay, she goes outside and she hears the lawnmower going.
Oh,
she goes outside. She sees the lawnmower.
Why was the lawnmower going off by itself?
I think the zombie set a trap for her to go outside, right? And she left the door open behind her because she thought maybe the groundskeeper was out there. But
oh my God!
Because then they got in that house somehow.
You're so smart. I just was like, okay, it just makes sense because it's random in this movie, but it was going by itself.
So and she was also under the impression that she also was one that received a phone call, correct? Like,
and a dream of impending doom.
Hello?
Sheila?
Oh, it's you, Warren. I was in the bathroom doing my hair. I want to look nice for you this evening.
I'm afraid that this evening is out of the question.
Can you tell me why, Warren?
No, I can't explain it now.
I was looking forward to
My darling, listen, I want you to do exactly as I tell you. Understand?
Perfectly. I will do what you wish and not ask why. A typical male chauvinist pig attitude.
Sheila, this is serious. Don't kid around. I want you to make sure all doors and windows are locked. Nobody is to be let in. Nobody, understand? I'll be home as soon as I can. And when I get there, you're to make damn sure it's me. Clear?
Yes, transparent. Have you become insanely jealous all of a sudden?
Think whatever you want to think, but for God's sake, Sheila, do what I tell you.
Wait, was her dad the one that was the the military person called?
No, that was her older lover, evidently. He reminded me of another actor for some reason. I couldn't think of it, but...
He was another military guy, so he wasn't... Because the father was the military father was the ones that was...
in the office, right.
Trying to get them to come down. This is the guy, I think, that was out in our helicopter and stuff,
Yes,
right?
this is his girlfriend / lover wife, this one.
I mean, it looked like his daughter because he was like an old and she was kind of like young. And
he was an older man with a cigarette.
Yeah, so I even think she even got a heads up that they're to stay in the house, lock the doors. That's what it was. Stay in the house, lock the doors. Not come to me. Stay.
Yeah, stay. Don't come. Exactly.
Right? So this one here's right away outside, runs outside after he says don't go outside for anything. Sees a lawnmower going by itself and then was like, well, that's,
I can't possibly let that run.
Yeah, that's a Thursday afternoon. Lawnmowers run all by themselves all the time. Doesn't think anything of it. I see that. I'm out of there, dude.
That's
not a normal thing for just a lawnmower to be running by itself. Like it has. I've just walked into a trap written all over it.
And I know this is the 80s. This is in Italy. This is probably in a field of beautiful neighborhood at the time.
Yeah.
But she leaves her cellar open, unlocked.
Yeah. Her cellar's open.
First off, I'm not one of those people. Everything is locked. I check it 5 times.
Oh, me too. Yeah, I lock everything.
Exactly. So that would never happen. But that would have been the first place. Oh my God, the cellar.
And her friend has to tell her that she didn't lock the cellar, right?
The friend who ran because she couldn't bear to be alone by herself one more minute.
Yeah. One more minute.
Wasn't it a few hours, Jeff? Was that a few hours?
It was a few hours. Yeah, it was a few hours.
It's madness. It's maddening. I can't be alone. I think that it's over the top acting of dubbing from these old Italian movies always do.
Yeah.
Sheila, it's me, Cindy. Let me in, please. Sheila, can you hear me? For God's sake, Sheila, open the door. Oh, Sheila, thank heavens I found you. I just couldn't stand it anymore, being in the house all alone. Come into the front room. Johnny went off to work and the cleaning woman never showed up. I kept hearing noises everywhere, on the roof, in the cellar, everywhere.
Well, you can relax now. We're safe here, at least for the moment. Warren is coming as soon as he can.
My God, Sheila, what's going on?
I don't know. I really don't know. Have you tried calling Gracie? Her husband is with the Department of something or other.
How could I call? The phone hasn't been working for 3 hours.
And our artist person, what was up with like the statues and like her like inanimate objects bleeding?
It's part of this supernatural dream.
I almost get the feeling that I wasn't the one who made it, but some other being outside of me. It frightens me.
That sounds like science fiction.
Metaphysics, if you want. It's better if we don't take it too seriously. I'll junk it if you like.
No, don't even think of it. Can you imagine what the world would have lost had Michelangelo destroyed his works at the request of Major Warren Holmes?
Yes, but I'm not Michelangelo.
To me, my love, you're much more.
No, it wasn't a hello. It wasn't a hello head. You know, this was
a zombie, mutant-looking thing with an eye.
It looked like a toxie zombie.
Exactly.
And it was stabbed in the eye. What else bled? Something else in the church was bleeding. Some other statue. There was lots of things were bleeding that shouldn't be bleeding, Ryan.
Didn't they shoot her? The zombies shoot her head, and it goes through the sculpture too.
Yes.
And makes like a hole. But he shoots her head, comes off her hair, her scalp.
Yeah,
right into the sculpture.
I do like that. What is it? Is it towards the end when she kills him? Right? He goes to see her. She shoots him. She has a Luger, right, or like a handgun. She shoots him once, and it leaves a little red spot
while
in
she's
his
painting.
Head. So you see, like the little circle. The second shot, his whole head explodes like out the back. Oh wait, what? What kind of handgun is this? It explodes. First bullet though, little red dot. Second one. Talk about all or nothing, right? Like the first one is like, oh, he might survive. The second one, like the whole back of his head blows out. This is a remarkable movie, Ryan. I don't care what anyone says.
Maybe it was one of those. It landed a mine inside his head and exploded. A minute after.
It's almost like a special effect went wrong. Like you know how they have those things set up. Those what are they called?
Squibs?
Oh, yeah, it's, what do you call it? The remotes, the detonators.
Yes,
They're like a little
detonator.
detonator, like for like these. They're like, if you should get shot, it'll like have blood shoot out or something.
Yes,
right?
like a blood pack or something will explode.
Yes. So this, like, it looks like the detonator went a little bit too much and it just blew the entire mannequin up. So they're probably like, let's just go with it. I mean, our zombies land planes, like, so we're good.
He went through the door and everything. It was like a shotgun. this one, yeah.
Yeah. First one, a little bit of a flesh wound. Second one.
The highlight of this movie is them being chased up the amusement park.
The roller coaster.
Roller coaster, thank you, yes. I would have died on the way up to the helicopter, Jeff, because, let me tell you, in gym class, I couldn't even climb up the rope. So I'd be like, oh my god, hanging up. But the hero's helicopter comes down, not by a zombie, which would have been great.
Yeah.
And she drops down, Jeff. And what happens to her?
Her head, like her wig comes off or something. It's almost like she got like scalped or something, right? Like as she's coming off, it's
She's
a really
so
bad
stiff.
effect. Yeah.
So stiff. It must have been like a doll or cardboard. I don't even know. And they just drop it down.
Yeah, it was a wooden mannequin for sure. I mean, it was, and then like her head, like her hair comes off, so you can see that it's a mannequin. It's really a bad effect. I think they should have done a reshoot. That's just me.
Why do a reshoot when you could land planes like you said?
Yes.
Anything could happen in this movie.
Yes. And I'll say this, like, if we can talk about, because I'm obsessed with the whole plane thing, like, what would it be like if like zombies had their own airline? And you could fly like zombie air. Like, I wonder if it would be like fun. Like, because they're like, we can't eat you because you're our business. So, do they serve snacks, do you think?
Or they hire real people to work and the pilots are just zombies?
Oh.
And they're very efficient. They could just keep going and going and going and going.
Like, do you think they show like zombie movies as the in-flight movie?
That would be one hell of a great cross promotion.
Like they could have like a little bag of peanuts and they can call it like, like bag of brains or
those Skittles, those zombie Skittles. That's what they give out, a bag of zombie Skittles.
Oh, those things are raunchy. Oh god. Those are horrible. But yes. Wonder what kind of drinks they have. Do you think they have Diet Dr. Pepper on zombie air, Ryan?
No, I think it goes right from the nipple.
Oh.
It's a glass bottle. Or a glass hospital bottle, yeah.
Do you think the zombies try to act like humans and they, to try to trick you and that they haven't been turned? So you'll think they are a real flight attendant and they'll bring you like a bottle of like blood, like a tit bottle, but they're like, "There's your Diet Dr. Pepper, sir." And I'm like, that's not a Diet Dr. Pepper. Yeah, do you think they try to like,
Why don't you bleed in this for a little for me? Show us you care. Or they have the face that you can't tell, like you said, they come down the aisle. One aisle gets the human face.
Yeah.
The other aisle has to see the zombie.
Yeah, I'm like, why are you looking at me out the side of your face? Why won't you turn to me? Oh, I've got a neck problem, sir. Sorry. You gotta look at this side of me.
The exits are on the rear. And the side.
Do you think when they're about to take off on Zombie Airline, do you think that they go over the whole like, here's what you do to blow up your little like seat cushion and so you can float and the air things that drop like
they're very stiffly too. Put on mouth. And then blow.
I think I mean that plane, that was a big ass military plane. It was supposed to be carrying civilians and it landed very nicely. I would feel safe on Zombie Airline.
And calmly, they built up suspense. They didn't answer the radio. No, we ain't gonna do that. We're gonna land this beautifully, like you said. Not even a roaring screech. Beautifully.
The only thing they couldn't do was talk. That's right.
They could smile. Was there one that... No, he didn't smile, but I think I wrote that he looked like the guy who created Rocky Horror Picture Show. He was a bald zombie and he was in the TV screen. He kind of was like going...
Richard O'Brien?
Richard O'Brien, thank you, yes. Shock treatment.
Yup.
Right into the camera.
He's in Flash Gordon, too.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
He's the one who says something. If you kill her, you'll never have her. Or whatever. While he's playing the flute with Baron.
He always looks the damn same in every movie.
Every movie.
He's very iconic.
He never aged. I mean, in Rocky Horror Picture Show, he looked the same as he did in like Dark City, which was like 1998, 1999 movie. Like all of
It's not having the hair probably doesn't age you because you don't gray, you don't lose it.
True.
Then you can go, "Arr."
The Richard O'Brien zombie. That's funny. I know exactly what you're talking about too. It does look like him.
Because they just wanted to build suspense again. Like it's like this zombie's looking at the camera.
Wait a second. Richard O'Brien zombie. R.O.B. zombie. Rob Zombie.
Oh my god. It all makes sense.
It makes sense. Now Rob Zombies. Not only is Dan O'Bannon ripped off Nightmare City for Return of the Living Dead, except for his zombies could talk, but Rob Zombie ripped off the name.
And now his wife will be in the remake and play Dr.
God.
Anna.
She'll play everything. She'll be the one that lands the plane. She'll be
the plane.
It'll be like when Eddie Murphy used to do those clump movies, like The Nutty Professor, and he played everybody, but it'll be her. She'll be playing everybody in the movie.
With what range? I think there's only a few things, right?
Yeah.
Well, in this movie, you don't need range, really.
No.
You could be dubbed by another actor or an actress.
What about the very, very long aerobic scene?
Oh, you're right. This is iconic.
We have to speak about. Yeah, we have to talk about this. We can't forget about this at all. We have to discuss this.
So not only is it an aerobic scene, but when it does get interrupted, Jeff, there's that one that you go, where did she come from? The really like nasty looking older, dare I say, lady who's like, I was just about to do my solo.
Oh shit! Just when I was gonna do my voice close-up.
Oh, shut up, will ya? I want to listen to it.
Yeah, I'm like,
it's like, I want to watch the news. Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's a big thing I've noticed with Italian horror too. So like Night Killer, they have like that big dance number and it's very aerobic like. You have this that's very aerobic like. You have like in Demons 2, the weightlifter, but you have those aerobic-y kind of like they're very into aerobics. Like, but this particular film has an entire performance, and what's the show called? It's all about the music.
It's all
yeah. Is that what it's called, or it's all about the music, or
we will return to It's All About the Music. Like the most calmest announcer too. After this very important news break.
Like Hooks from Police Academy.
Yeah, 1000%. We'll be right back. Death is coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. We are interrupting our transmission of It's All Music for a special news flash. At the end of the news flash, we will return with our regular program. Thank you.
But I mean, we get a whole assortment. Like, first of all, we have our journalist arriving to the studio after the attack, the initial attack, to warn the world. This scene goes on. They do an entire dance for like 3 or 4 minutes, right? Ryan? Like they're all aerobicizing, but apparently this is
happy. It's a happy performance until the death comes.
It is. It's a happy performance. They show this whole performance. Everyone's dancing, doing aerobics. It's a TV show. It's something that everybody must be at home watching. This must be a big thing.
I feel like it has to be the weekends, right? It has to be the weekend for this to be. This is not just like, oh, it's 2:00.
Yes, right.
Then the dancers.
Then it's interrupted and everyone's very upset. Probably people at home were upset too. I would have been. Like, put my stuff back on. I don't want to see this.
I want dance. I don't want to see this guy in a desk that's the size of a school desk.
Yeah.
TV station.
Yeah, he's like, here's my news desk, and it's this like little desk like I'm sitting on like with you right now. Like, actually, my desk is probably
yours is probably bigger.
Yeah, and I mean, he's like a charisma vacuum, right? And it's like, I'm breaking.
Today, zombies landed a military in an elephant vehicle.
Yeah.
At 11 o'clock this morning, an event without precedent took place at the airport of the city. An airplane of no nationality landed on the south runway of the airport, ignoring all instructions from the control tower.
They're all warned about this. Now, do you think they run?
Well, don't they cut him off? The head of the studio says, get him off the air.
That's right. They're like, you're going to cause panic. And, he's like, sorry, I was called in. I was told to do it. Wasn't me. The military didn't want you to spread anything. So now we're back to aerobics.
Yes.
But he does tell them all to leave and
Take
that
it
they're
to
in
the top.
danger. They're
They
like,
don't.
nope, we got to finish our numbered. And for that was their undoing, because then they all get killed, and we see our first tit bottle.
Yeah, and this is when the undressing begins.
Yes. In these movies, TB doesn't stand for tuberculosis.
No, it does not. This also is when we get that theme again. I mean, continuously from here, but it is catchy enough.
Oh yeah.
This music.
Wait, are you saying the score for the movie, or are you saying the
sorry,
song?
yes. Well, both are masterpieces. But the theme that comes with I'll call it the death theme, the running around, zombie running around killing spree music.
Yeah, it's the same thing over and over and over and over again. So they copied off of Dawn of the Dead and all that, but they didn't get the goblins, did they?
Oh God, what
they
a
didn't get anything goblin-esque, Ryan.
No, this is maybe hobgoblins.
Oh, it's hobgoblin, alright. Definitely with an emphasis on the hob.
That is a horror.
Oh.
So something I completely forgot about.
What's that?
Fangoria,
yes.
In 2015 said that Tom Savini was going to be directing a remake of this film, which I actually remember. He raised through Indiegogo. He got beyond what he needed. And as of the last update I saw, it said it was supposed to film it sometime in 2018. Now, I know there was COVID, but there is no mention at all what happened to this money that he raised for this movie.
Have you seen his new boat?
You've been Savini'd. Is that what it's called? You've been Savini'd, and you've been Savini'd.
I hope he's kept that money. I hope he's good on his word.
And it sounded like it was going to be great, because he not only, of course, was it Tom Savini, but he really wanted this to be something. He said it's going to be more like 28 Days Later, I Am Legend, or The Last of Us, and less of a traditional zombie movie. So I think this would have been great.
Hopefully, maybe it'll still happen. I mean, he just did. So I just told you I just got the Evil Dead game, and when my pre-order bonus, he did this. You can only get this if you pre-ordered it. Like, it won't be available again. But it's a skin of Ash. And it's like, he looks like mummified, and like his face looks like Gozer with like makeup, and his arm is wrapped with all the way through his hand with barbed wire.
Oh.
So Savini did one for Jason in Friday the 13th as well. I was not able to get that one.
Yes, that damn game that I have that I still can't play because it's multiplayer.
Oh, it has a trident, like he had a trident or whatever, like. So he still does things. I know he does conventions, whatever, but I don't know, man. Maybe he's still gonna do it. Maybe he's just like, well, all right, I'm ready to do it now. But like,
have us land the plane. Have us land the damn plane. It has to begin with one.
I want to see zombie air. I want to see inside that plane first. I want to see. And Ryan, how about this? What about the ending? Let's discuss the ending.
Oh yes. It's a cliche, but it was all a dream. But was it?
Yes.
Dun dun dun.
Yes. So after our
dummy falls
heroine
down,
mannequin falls to her death, the guy screams. Our lead screams, and he wakes up and he's in bed, and the whole thing was a dream, and she's next to him, and all of a sudden, the same thing starts happening all over again. It's like the end of Invaders from Mars.
So now, at this point, though, they don't show you the zombies coming out, right? They leave it right when the door is opening, and it says, "The nightmare begins again."
The nightmare begins again. So the door opens, everybody's in the same place. Looks like the dialogue might be a little faster, so it's not like they reuse scenes. Like, you could tell they reshot it. But, like... But then, the door drops down, and I don't know. I think that's probably the weakest part of this movie. I don't think they knew how to end this movie, Ryan.
I agree. Because they still needed that downer ending. Because, like we mentioned earlier, you can't be happy in these movies. So, you have to die somehow. But are we to believe, at least now that he has a heads up of what's going to happen?
I don't know, because I would like to think that, but like, wouldn't he have said something already? Like, I mean,
when the plane was landing, Yeah.
They shoot the what's it called? The flare in the air. Everyone's standing in the exact same place, and he's just sitting there like,
it's like this couldn't possibly happen.
Yeah.
I'm shocked again.
Yeah, like maybe it's one of those things to where, and why would it come from his dream? Like, who is he?
Exactly, because as we know, the sergeant's mistress or painter woman, wife, daughter, woman, had the premonition. And so did the person in the hospital.
That lost his legs.
Exactly.
Yeah. Last night I had this nightmare. It was all about my leg. It was a big explosion. It was right here in the hospital. I got hit. My leg got cut off.
Well, we don't have to worry over that any longer. Jim, your leg's going to be just fine. The truth.
Well, okay.
I felt like someone was biting my legs.
Yep. Yeah, that was a Chekhov's gun for sure. I'm like, well, here's some foreshadowing for you.
There's some trash Return of the Living Dead for you.
Yup.
I'm dreaming of old men grabbing at me.
Ripping my body apart. Yep, that whole thing. Exactly.
But again, done much better in Return of the Living Dead.
Oh yeah, seeing Linnea Quigley get jumped all over, much better than.
And of course, tonight we'll make love till we die. The soundtrack. Oh,
yep.
Now if they had that with the plane landed, I would have given this an A+.
Oh man, well I think you put that song in any movie or anything at all, it gets
true. It elevates it.
Yeah. What's that horrible movie that Ben Affleck and J-Lo were in? Geely,
yes.
Geely. You put that song in there, that movie would have not been a bomb.
Tonight we'll make love till we die.
Yeah.
All in all, I think we're kind of on the same wavelength that it's maybe not the best. But
yeah, I'll say this: it's very difficult when they're obviously going for like zombie exploitation or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Exploitation.
Yeah.
Like that's what was making money back then. That's what all the directors were jumping over. I mean, who I just named like Erfulci, what's his name?
Dario.
Mattei, and now Lenzi. Right.
Yeah.
So there's three directors right there that are known for doing mainly horror movies. They were all doing the same kind of movie. They were all borrowing.
1,000%.
So, I give Lenzi props for trying to make his zombies different, so that they were almost like chemical zombies, our first chemical zombies, right?
You're right.
But this was probably the first one, I believe, though, from 1980.
And maybe the first running zombies?
The first real running zombies as we know them, that actually use weapons. I mean, it's memorable enough to where, when you asked me to do this, I said, let's do Nightmare Zombie, because they're the ones that, they're the zombies that can fly planes and shoot people and stuff. And, it sticks out. So my overall thoughts on it are, it's not a great movie. There's a lot of great ideas in it.
Yes.
It's fun. It's fun to, it's not a long movie.
No. It's an hour and 30 minutes, but it feels like it goes by. I don't know if it's all the running.
Yeah, it's running helps with the runtime. Like I watched it again last night, just so I can remember some like smaller details.
Me too. The brain ain't what it used to be either.
I think the ending is a bit of a letdown but you have to have that letdown kind of an ending, right? For an Italian.
That's the only way.
So a lot of good ideas. I think this was purely in it just for the gore, nudity, and carnage, and as you brought up earlier, and the aerobics dancing. He also did City of the Living Dead, Lenzi, which I really do like.
Jeff mentioned off camera, it's true. This movie is also called this in some versions too.
Yeah, right.
City of the Living Dead.
City of the Living Dead.
I love how they all cannibalize each other's titles too.
Yep, they all just kind of take from it. But that's my thoughts on it. Not a great movie, fun to watch, different, something different. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it at least once.
Renting it as a teen in Blockbuster, thinking it was a zombie movie. When I first saw it, I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
So it definitely lands and leaves a mark on you.
Yeah, I gotta think too, Ryan. That's a funny thing you bring that up. I remember I rented Zombie for the first time.
Yes.
And I rented. It was like the two for Tuesday at my old video store. So I saw Nightmare City next to it, and in the section I was like, I'll get 2 Italian zombie movies.
Double feature, Italiano.
Boy, could they not be any different movies, So
Speaking of video stores, Jeff.
Oh, yes, Ryan.
There's something that actually just launched over on YouTube. And would you tell the lovely people a little about it?
Yeah, I mean, probably by the time this is airing, we should have launched it, right? So it's our collaborative channel. It is Super Clash Video, and it is a collaboration channel with three, Radical Ryan, myself, and David from Flash Vision TV. And yeah, it's a channel where, I don't know, we kind of went with the whole concept of just having a bunch of different series on different topics on one channel. And we thought of it as almost like a video store where you can find everything in there. You can find toys, food, wrestling, movies, everything all in one place. And yeah, we launched this thing and we're super excited about all. We are doing our own channels. Now we're kind of coming together, doing our own thing, and hopefully it's going to be super entertaining.
And if you enjoy this podcast, thank you if you do. We are bringing that retro fun over there. Geof, as you just heard on here, he has such an extensive knowledge on film, really on a lot of things retro topics, I would say in general. If horror movies, even games. I mean, we're going to cover everything on there. And David from Slash Vision has a retro themed podcast. Also will hit you with those topics, toys, movies. I mean, you're going to get everything over at this channel. We really hope to entertain, and we're going to also do a live show, like a little pay-per-view to have people be able to come and join with a certain topic. So we couldn't be more excited for this thing to launch.
Yeah, we're all super pumped. We've been working on it for a while, and yeah, hopefully y'all enjoy. Some of it will be taped, recorded. We will have, like Ryan said, a live stream once a month to make that, kind of like a big deal for doing live streams. Sometimes there's so many live streams, it kind of loses its appeal. So we're doing the Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, well, only a special event.
Yeah,
exactly.
We're doing a live stream. It's a special thing. So no, we all get along and we all got great ideas, and so we all figured we'd team up, and that's our model. It's the model we're going to be using.
And if you enjoyed what you heard today, please check that out. Of course, I will have the links on everything. I will have it on YouTube, Instagram. And Jeffrey, where else can people find you when you're not hanging out over here or on Super Clash?
I mean, I'm still gonna have the Gcap recap channel up, so you can find me on your YouTube. I'll still, probably still be doing that, but mainly doing things for Super Clash Video now. But also follow me on Instagram. I keep doing a lot of fun stuff on Instagram too. Besides just promoting the channels, I like to put up stuff there as well, and TikTok.
I was gonna say I'll put all the links below too for everyone for all of these too.
I wonder if I'll have my first TikTok video up by the time this airs, Ryan. I don't know.
Ooh, you won't be disappointed, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Geof is such an amazing guy. He has me laughing, and I don't think you will be disappointed.
Oh, and also Ryan and I are going to be a little bit more consistent on Super Clash too about our food challenges.
Oh God! If anyone didn't see those over on the Gcap channel, you're missing out on some fun time and seeing us want to vomit.
Yes, and think about it, summer's coming up, so I'm sure like all these companies are going to have like new. There's been a lot of promos, and now they've kind of died down, so now it's summertime, and usually McDonald's
Jurassic
burger
maybe.
There you go.
Jurassic Park burger.
Jurassic
McRib with the McRib again. It's not a Brontosaurus anymore from Flintstones. It's now a raptor.
Don't forget the Nightmare City tip bottle promotion.
Oh my God, please.
That's Sonic.
A new sauce available. And you can always reach the Radical Retro Rewind podcast on Instagram, one word. We're still going to be making videos all summer long on There's the Summer of the Dead continues. Thank you so much, Geof, for being here. I had a blast as always with you. So
this was one of our more fun ones. Thank you so much for having me be a part of this. I really appreciate it. This was great.
Thank you so much. Check him out, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh my God, I can't breathe. I think I'm going to faint.